For the BTS ball? Start.
For the BTS ball!
Thank you. Please sit down.
Yes. Today we'll begin by listening to the scholarly words of God. We offer a cup of plastic. Go on!
My words will appear in the text right there. It's a bit much to ask me to speak about Providence while claiming to celebrate the birth, right? You guys should be the ones singing the BTS songs. Do I really have to do this every morning? Woke up and down. If you come to the first heavenly ball at dawn, good things will happen all year long. Because the actions you take at 1 a.m. on January 1st are always important. When January 1st is
Important, right?
times like that, it is best to go to sleep past 1 a.m. That is when you must call my name and talk about your plans for the year. I'm going to open a fried chicken shop this year. I will do this year. That is how it should be. Should I talk about this in the evening? AM on January 1st is when the year's fortune is strongest. Yes. You understand, right? If you called out Hail Kyung-young's name at 1 a.m. at that time, that year, goes without saying. And regarding the White Palace. The White Palace is different from me. I'm not that picky, but the archangels of the White Palace are... You understand, right? Watching all of you, so what are you doing at 1 a.m. on January 1st? Right? Then you all woke up at dawn this morning, didn't you? If you wake up and say you're going to the heavenly ball, you have to do the Hail Kyung-young, right? So the very first thing you say after waking up is the sound of Hail Kyung-young. If you wake up right at dawn and curse at someone or fight on the phone, you hear the curses all day long. The sound of curses repeats itself all day long without you even realizing. Do you need to know that? Right, we are like a recording device. There is nothing else. We don't think deeply, since it is a recording device. If you get up early on the morning of January 1st and perform the Hail Hung, the sound of Hail Kyung-young will follow you wherever you go for the entire year. Wouldn't that be the case? Then, if you couldn't do that, you wake up every morning, call out to Hail Kyung-young, look at the picture, and call out to Hail. Then, the name Hail Kyung-young will be there all day long, and even when you wake up, you will unconsciously hear Hail Kyung-young, over and over and over again, right? And also play a song like this. Just listen to it. How is it? This music, Baekbun Ganyun. What is the title? Longing for Baekgung Heaven. And what is the other one?
Survey.
Surveying and surveying. If you play something like that, you will hear the music all day long. Even while working a part-time job at a convenience store, this guy keeps hearing the music.
So is that good? Is it not good? It is good. Understand, right? That is why we must always dedicate the first hour to the heavens.
That call? It is called spiritual value. Spiritual value surpasses economic value. What is above economic value?
Spiritual value.
No, academic value is at the very top. Above economic value is relational value. You
must properly acknowledge and recognize relational values, like the relationship between a father and son or between a boss and yourself to succeed. Right? Is that not right? Then, academic value is at the very top. This is something you take with you when you graduate from life There can be nothing higher than that. Below that value is relational value. It is all relationships, marital relationships, any kind of relationship. The relationship between a boss and a subordinate, the relationship between a teacher and a student, all values are determined by these relationships. Right? Next, what is below relational value? Economic value is at the very bottom. It is the matter of making a living, a matter of consciousness. There is relational value. There is economic value. Is it okay to ruin relational value? Because of economic value.
It's not.
Ruin academic value because of relational value.
There is a hierarchy here. A hierarchy. I am
Speaking logically, I haven't used the blackboard. When you wake up in the morning, you must strike at academic value first thing. Then, the relational value between the poet and you is connected.
right.
Yes.
Then, economic value follows next. But if you wake up in the morning and think about, and talk about economic value first, everything collapses. You understand?
Saying
What value should you prioritize first? Spirituality? You must firmly assert spiritual value. Only then will relational value come, and material matters will automatically resolve themselves later. Understood?
Wake up in the morning and say, I have to pass this exam. Is that okay?
fall apart if you
Wake up in the morning and say, I am going to become rich. Is that okay? You must assert spiritual value first. Then comes relational value. After that, economic value is at the very bottom. If you don't have it, you can obtain it. Right? And that's all. If you become too obsessed with it and think about economic value first thing in the morning, the money will run away that day. Do you understand now? When you're buying or selling a house today, if you just wake up in the morning and insert the spirit value, relational value, and economic value, everything will work out well, right? But you shouldn't do things the other way around like that.
understand.
Yes.
What should we call that? We can explain it like this. Everyone, what is this?
What is it?
Jackson.
Yangsen. It means concealing the body. Regarding concealing the body, what is this? 노형. Jackson 노형. 노형. It's not hyung, it's young. I wrote it down as Jackson 노형, didn't I? What does this mean? It means you can conceal the body, but you cannot conceal the shadow.
This is the character for Shadow Young?
Yes.
That's correct.
This means you can't hide it, the character for wrong. So you can conceal the body, but you can't conceal the shadow. You understand what that means, right? Once you summon Hell Hyung, if the spirit value arrives, the shadow of that spirit value follows you all day long.
Right or wrong?
So that's how I am. If I say just one thing in the morning, bad luck sets in. If I talk to a bad person on the phone and fight in the morning, what happens to my soul for the rest of the day? I get dragged around by them. So the thoughts keep coming back, even though my body has hidden it and the words are finished, the shadow keeps following me. That is what I am telling you to do in the morning. You understand?
Clear your spiritual value first.
Then the shadow will follow you all day long. I'm telling you, the name of Heo Gyeonryong. Look into my eyes in the morning. Be happy and call out to Heo Hangin. You pass your exam. I sang a song like this. Then, for the person going to pass the exam, it is very good. All day long, they hear it in their energy. You pass, you pass. So does that give you confidence? If not, then that shadow is repeating itself within me.
Good, good.
Good.
Then Call Me became a huge hit for several years. The song I sang, that is. This immortality, I put your spirit into it. Your, right? So, while this is a very high level in psychology, in classical Chinese, I don't know what kind of studies you have done. It is a difficult one. It is a difficult one. Therefore, if you want to succeed, the very first thing you do in the morning, right after opening your eyes, is to chant Hail Yongryong out loud. Right? Isn't that right?
Chanting it just 3 times, it becomes 1.
Day of affection, 1 day of sleep, and 1 day of longing. What do I mean? I mean, if you have that song as the first thing you hear in the morning, it follows you around all day without you even realizing it.
There are people who have seen that happen unconsciously.
So in the first hour of the morning, I tell you to establish a relationship, a sexual relationship. Extremely important.
What kind of relationships you establish the second one? You establish relational values.
Sexual values. I said to establish relational values for the second. The third is
Economic value.
economic aspect. The matter of making a living and think, I need to do this at work today. You have to think about that right from the start. If you just put that into your first thoughts, you end up becoming a slave to your job all day long. Did we come here to become slaves to our jobs?
Did you come here?
Crazy because of work?
No.
Work is something you do last because of the economic value of making a living. Most important thing is to think of your parents, the heavens that gave birth to you, and parents, right?
What kind of value is that?
Spiritual value. Next, you must think of your parents. That is at the very top of relational values. Since parents are at the top of all the people I relate to, should I think of them or not? Then it is the same as waking up in the morning and offering food to your parents. So you think of your father and mother, and then you should go to your job, the third priority. Right?
Yeah. Understand now? Yeah. This is the secret to success.
I am gently teaching you how to live.
You have already entered the stage of witnesses. In large numbers.
Understand? All the truths will be announced by the end of this July. They will probably do that in the white space. Then, after August, the true persons will stop appearing. You know what that means, right? This too is already work being done in the white space in heaven. I get so many calls that I don't even know who is becoming a jinn. They claim to be a jinn. When I check, I ask, who was it yesterday? You check, and it's correct, right? They say, yes, you are a jinn. So the jinns are just emerging right now. Understand? Yes, that's right. Everyone is becoming the jinn, right? Probably going to sort out all the jinns at Baigang. I understand. Yes. But am I involved in them becoming a jinn? No, not at all. I only get involved in things like archangel blessings or angel blessings. Yes. Other than that, I don't get involved. I get involved when I'm in heaven. I can't get involved now. I get injured somewhere. Can I control my own body?
No. It's done through Baigong. But I can do it for you. Me and Baigong doing it together. Understood?
Seeing you all become jinn this time, I realized that Baigong exists. No. Even if Guangchon appears and the White Palace Stone comes to me, there are still people who don't understand it well. They look at it strangely, but a divine being has mastered all the knowledge of this world and all the knowledge of the universe and possesses everything. However, I have revealed this step by step, one by one. What happens if parents just give a child a huge amount of money at once? Yes, they become disabled, right? So I teach you little by little. Then, that becomes your blood and flesh. Understood? So, anyone can hide their own body, but can this old brother follow you all day long for a lifetime? No, he can't. That is why I do this every morning. The beginning of the year, on January 1st. What happens to the very first hour? It is the last day of December. As soon as the last day passes, January 1st will come, right? Then you have to do it exactly then. Then you have to do it once according to the lunar calendar, once according to the solar calendar. Right? If you do that, when you wake up in the morning, do you know if there is a lunar or solar calendar? There isn't. That you just have to do the morning self-reflection first thing as soon as you wake up. It's like a daily voice recorder is running within you. What you talked about in the morning will be circulating, right? Then business goes well. relationships improve and things get better. Yes, it's I tell you briefly every morning, but there is a core message to it. So these days, I'm stuffing it deep into your heads. If I give too many lectures, I'll just give you a lecture. You understand? If there is a lot of food, you don't really remember what was delicious. But if you thoroughly mix up cold noodles or spicy mixed noodles, add vinegar and seasoning, make the noodles fresh, arrange them nicely, add toppings and broth, put a little ice on top, and bring them out, then you'll
Feel hungry.
Once you eat those noodles, you'll clearly remember what made the food delicious. But if you go to a Korean restaurant and there are 30 side dishes, is there anything delicious?
You won't. Remember,
So that is why I'm serving you cold noodles right now.
You understand?
what I mean, right?
I am the chef. I'm serving you bibimbap right now. I am telling you the story of bibimbap noodles right now, right during your learning session. I'm saying this to help you make this. It's true, isn't it?
Yes.
I mixed my noodles thoroughly and was telling you to enjoy them when suddenly your mother came up from the countryside. She bought squid and other seafood and said, "Son, I'm here now." I mean, you were mixing your noodles and about to eat, but she suddenly opened the door and dragged you in. So is that right? Is it right to have your noodles stolen? That's right. Seriously. Should I give them to your mother? Or should I make them again and eat them myself?
To prevent that from happening, you must listen to me. Since it's my story makes your mouth water, doesn't it?
That is why when I tell stories, I talk about 5,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and 1,000 years in the future.
So when I tell my stories, it's interesting. If I were telling the story, it would be chaotic. It's interesting, right?
So after chatting about the world when the time comes, I have to bring up the topic of food. And what happens then, everyone? It works to help with digestion, right?
That is why after I talk, your digestion improves. I'm saying.
This all for your health. Bibimbap wouldn't taste that bad if I go to Sagoga in Jongno. There's a cold noodle shop. If you go there, what do they use to make the noodles? They use buckwheat, and it's the most delicious in Korea. There is that Hwama cold noodles. If I mention a specific place, people might just say, "Oh, I'll eat this too." It's still there. It's been around since I first came to Seoul.
Still there. Fake cold noodle shop popped up right next to it. They even put up the
Exact same signboard and claim to be the original. But those who know the old-fashioned cold noodle shop go to that place.
However, the overseas shops have just done a good job with the technique.
Of the old-fashioned shop, you know exactly how they make the noodles. When you watch the people working there, the cold noodles come down in a stream. They boil them perfectly and pull them out. One by one, it's incredible. As they come down, they sink right into the cold water. You know? They sink right in, but to achieve that, everything is done manually, not by machine. That's how they make them. They make a neat bundle of noodles by hand without leaving anything behind. Like, let's have fun, you know? Oh, those people have excellent skills. Even though they just plop it in and suddenly put it in water, it's still slightly soft. They put it in and season it, and the seasoning is amazing. Mix a few things together, but the ingredients are exactly the same. Now, as they were 50 years ago, the ingredients haven't changed even once. But when you eat it, it feels exactly like going to Pyongyang. Whether you go to Hoagie to eat it or eat it here, it's the same. But I don't know when a bowl has ever been sold out. It's
Delicious, right?
yes.
I really enjoyed the cold noodles. That's right.
But when the noodles come out, the relational value is shattered. You'd think you should be eating with some courtesy, wondering if your father or mother is sitting in front of you. But the moment you pick up the cold noodles, there is no father, no mother, no friend. There. Even a word like, Dad, please have some because it's delicious. You're just too busy holding the bowl to eat.
Right? Once you finish
Eating, you start to see your mom and your father. That's how delicious it is. That's why we say you wouldn't, even if someone died right next to you. I'm saying there is a taste like that. That relational value completely crumbles. You
understand, right? Interesting? Today I've talked about 3 things. That spiritual value is at the very top. You must not forget this.
Next is relationships. Relational value is important in this world. At the very bottom is economic value. You
understand, right?
Now we will begin today's worship service.
I command in the name of God, Hail, Kyung, to the angels who offered songs today, to the angels who entered the palace today, to the angels who are achieving harmony with the foreign year today, to the angels who cannot come despite paying the counseling fee, to the angels who cannot come despite paying the training fee, to the angels who have registered and performed the Jonghaewon, and to the families and ancestors of the angels. Level 2 Jongmyeon. I commend in the name of God Hail Kyungyang to the angels watching YouTube right now, to the families and ancestors of the angels. Level 200 billion. As the Lord of Hail Kyungyang, the name is today. Blessing to the 100 nation names, to the angels who have come bearing a new identity through the construction sword, and to the families and ancestors of the angels, level 3, Jomu.
Now the Lord gives worship.
Who asked the question before giving worship? I mean that an angel who is not an archangel has become a true person. You would believe such a person, right? Yes. This needs to be broadcast properly. That is being broadcast. Then it was said that a true person goes to the inner palace. Can someone who hasn't received the archangel status go via inner energy? It is set up like this, you know?
What I mean, right?
So regarding the archangel becoming a true person, the path leads to internal energy, but it is only completed when one becomes an archangel. Understood? So even if you are not an archangel, you still go to the internal energy. As you go, once you become an archangel, there are various positions within the inner palace. There are those good positions. The best position within the inner palace is entering the divine palace.
You understand, right?
Since the region is vast hundreds of billions larger than Earth, it is amazing. Just because it is called the inner palace, how vast could it really be? Even within the inner palace, there is a difference between an archangel becoming a true person and an ordinary person becoming a true person. So your children have all become true persons now. Look it up. So if you alone become a true person, your family and ancestors all become true persons. Only those who are blessed. You understand now? So if your mother, grandfather, grandmother, and father have all blessed and supported you, then those people all become true persons. And the grandchildren, children, and even the direct descendants of a person who has become a true person all become true. So even young children become true. You must keep that in mind. Everyone, please take a test. Now test the children of those who have become true. Do it right now. Each of you. See if what I said is right or wrong. Right? Set up like this. This is the law of the White Palace.
You all need to know that.
Yes. So I answered your question well this time, right? Understand, right? If you work hard, you can enter even if you don't become an archangel. Angel. However, while the Dan is in the world, an archangel is needed because the angelic energy keeps getting stripped away. Right or wrong? An archangel can maintain an infinite angelic form, but even if a true person is a true person, if they are not an archangel, they will fail at becoming an angel. Here's the angel. What? So did the person who has an angel following them every day go in, and the person who has no angel when it leaves?
They're different.
The difference is that when a car suddenly rushes at you and hits you, or when you suddenly tumble down the stairs in a subway, an archangel and an ordinary person are different. Ordinary angels are different. An ordinary angel might be in an angel's body, but there might be no angel inside. They wander around without you even knowing if they are there or not.
Is that right?
And others can't do it for them. But an archangel can do it freely. The
Angel doesn't leave.
Dangerous place, they follow you.
Means it is safe.
When you go to the white dream, there isn't a huge difference, but there is still a difference. Differences in various places. So I answered your question well, didn't I? Today, enter level 1.5 for all the angels outside of heaven, their families, and their ancestors. Enter the 300 billion great separation for the angels watching YouTube, their families, and their ancestors. Our heavenly bonus levels have mostly reached the quadrillion unit. They have
Surpass the quadrillion unit.
Then how far do the levels go? Since it goes into billions, quadrillions, self-cultivation, quarters, purification, extremes, jars, and even fire, it
Goes into a lot, right? Then what is Mu? It is Moo. We still have a...
long way to go to reach the moo stage.
No!
Earthlings nitpick anything above the level of a dumpling, even. The economy ends entirely at the level of a trillion. However, if you look at the heavens,
Go incredibly far.
so we are playing all sorts of number games in a world that Earthlings cannot even conceive of. Do you understand?
Amazing, isn't it?
Korean industrialists are incredibly knowledgeable. From hundreds of millions to trillions, syntheses, nutritional systems, national systems, refining systems, power plants, and even fireworks. They desire numbers, analyze calculus, and find answers there.
Heavens. If I had said that, a...
Cell would be 50 trillion, 100 trillion, and so on. When we bring up the subject, it is either a trillion or a trillion. But now your level has already entered above the level of a dumpling.
Oh, there are many people beyond that.